We actually grow food on about 20 acres, and that works out to feeding about 150,000 people in a year. So the myth that there's not enough land on Earth to feed people organically is a big fat lie. You know, if you look after the soil and manage it properly, it has a capacity to produce huge amounts of food. But we have clay, we have loam, we have organic matter. The micronutrients in the soil, in the same way that winemakers talk about limestone and minerals in soil that's great for grapes, for growing really sweet tasting vegetables, you need a lot of calcium in the soil, and potassium, and phosphorus. And Perth County is ridiculously high in calcium. It's a blessed area. Like if this were a wine region, it would be Bordeaux. What we have in our soil would be equivalent Bordeaux for wine. You're using a resource that's also used by other organisms. You know, and for me to have as many different bird species as we can is a sign of the integrity of that system and the health of that system. So in the pond here, you can hear every once in a while that low doo doo. That's green frogs that we have in there.
It's me.
They are.
And strictly and only, what was the problem with maple leaf and the listeriosis was the fact that the machine was too big and they couldn't get into the guts of it. And they're running almost 24 hours a day. At a small abattoir, at the end of the day, the small equipment, obviously, gets completely taken apart. Everything that touches meat is out in the open, gets washed, disinfected, dried, and then the next day it gets put together. And that's why you don't get any recalls from abattoirs. It's just not possible.
The molars, and then they're cracking the nuts.
Right.
It makes that hollow sound.
Look at the little guys.
Oh, yeah.
Look what you started.
Oh my Lord.
Ready for slaughter.
About 170.
So white teas are basically tea from the plant that the leaves are still young, white and fuzzy, and what we're going to do is pass a sample of this tea down each side. So if we're tasting wines, basically we're looking at the actual liquid that we're drinking. With tea, we're analyzing the dry leaf, the infused leaf, so that's the wet leaf, and also the brew itself, or the cup. A lot of people are just ingesting things for hunger and just because it's dinner time, and they're not paying attention to what they're doing. So this is a great exercise to hone our palates on what we're experiencing.
You know, it's enough. Well, people are talking about local food as though that were enough. You know, we can rest on our laurels now because we've discovered local food, but the next stage of education and learning is that different soils will produce different food, and different regions with their soil types will produce different tasting food in that region. It's just like wine, and that's the next step that we need to get across.
I've walked these floors, I used to live alone before I knew you. I've seen your flag on the marble arch. Love is not a victory march, it's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 There was a time when you let me know what's really going on below, but now you don't show it to me, do you? Remember when I moved in you, the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah. 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 Maybe there's a God above. All I ever learned from love was how to shoot out someone who outdrew you. It's not something you can hear at night. It's not someone who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Derek Barnes.